Hello everyone, this is Silk coming at you with Operation Thunderball Turn 6.4. Hopefully my mic will stay active for 15 minutes or so and we won't have any dropouts. So a few things are going on. Just as a quick reminder, in case you did not see what the Americans just did with their tech rolls, they rolled 7 dice, 5 of which were at 8 plus, and scored on 6 techs. That was pretty crazy. Except for the fact that my primary opponent, which makes me want to run and hide. Fortunately for me, my tech has also been relatively very good for Japan, so maybe I can keep pace with them here. Just another little shout out here to France. France is 5 for 5 on their tech rolls, to which I do have one minor criticism for my fellow player and opponent here in Hambone. Just Hambone, if you're gonna go with the large ships and the long range aircraft, I think you probably, instead of the artillery, might want to have gone with jet fighters there, and that way you could have jet fighters with long range launching off of your heavy carriers. Just something you may want to consider for next time you play France. I think that would be a pretty scary prospect. So just might want to just put that in your strategy wheelhouse there and chew on it for a bit. As for what's going on with Japan, at the start of our production phase, we do actually align Siam lines to us. So that does gain us 1 IPP over here. And I've already kind of swapped over the militia and the chip here. This TB destroyer goes away. This Siamese destroyer goes away. And in exchange, I get Japanese destroyer and a Japanese torpedo boat destroyer as they align to us. You have 5 chances to win on the Siamese recruitment roll. It's 1 in 12. Doesn't happen very often. If you ever hit it, I would recommend you take the 2 militia. You'll upgrade them later to infantry, just as a quick little tip there. But it doesn't happen very often because again, you have 5 rolls, you need a 1, so just something for that. Back over here to our tech chart. We as Japan are still very pleased as punch that we got our 3 primary technologies already at stage 2. Next turn we'll be able to roll 3 dice to improve those, and maybe we can stay ahead of the Americans for a little bit before they crush all our hopes and dreams. In the meantime, we have 2 tech dice to roll. We are going to roll for improved factories, and as a new tech, we're going to go ahead and start working on amphibious doctrine. Fortunately for us, we do, I think, get an 11, and we get improved factories to stage 2, which is great. That's another. There are certain Japans where this is actually my primary tech. It's the one I chase after the most. This particular game is not that game, but there are ones where I do put improved factories as my most important tech. Unfortunately for Amphib Doctrine, I believe we rolled a 5, so that was a failure. But overall, we threw 11 dice, 8 of them were hits, and 4 of those were on 8 pluses, so we have to be very, very pleased with where we're at tech-wise. On to purchases. As Japan, we have 38 IPP. We're going to spend all of it. We are going to finish our major factory that we're constructing in Honshu. So we have 3 artillery is 12. We have 2 marines is 8, so that's 20. We then get to 3 infantry for 9, so that gets us 29. $3 for the cavalry gets us to 32, and the 6 for the major factory gets us to 38. So here's our 38. All right. Japan is, again, just consolidating at this point. We've already taken all the core territories we wanted. The KMT does not seem to be a particular threat as they're just hiding out in Suyeon. It's possible, there's a little bit of time warp here. I'm actually posting this before Bruce posts his. It's possible that the CCP is going to come out here and attack Shanghai, but I don't think he will. And even if he does, I'm not going to be attacking him. We'll let him have Shanghai for a turn, and we'll deal with that a bit later. So in the meantime, we're just going to go on into non-combat movement here. So into dear old Shensi. The 1 infantry is going to walk from Hopei into Shensi. 1 infantry from Rihi is going to rail into Shensi. So I'm actually going to grab a chip for that. Grab one of my green ones here. So that will leave us with a total of 4 infantry in Shensi. We are then also going to move this cavalry from Rihi will go 1, 2 through Suyan, and it will enter into Shensi. So in Shensi, we have 4 infantry, 3 cavalry, a mountain, an artillery, and a motorized. Down here in Hunan, we're just going to shift some units around. So the 2 artillery in Hunan will go and join the fighting 41st in Kwangtung. We're going to chip that out real quick. So we have 4 artillery now in Kwangtung. The 2 Marines and 2 infantry will join them, so they will also be moving from Hunan into Kwangtung. And then we have our ships to do some work here. So the transport in P16 is going to pick up one of the Marines that's in Tokyo. It will travel to P15. It will pick up one of the artillery that is located in Kyushu. And those 2 units will then go to P32 and then P41, and they will get dropped off in 41st. We then have 3 other moves there to get those artillery and infantry over there. So from P15, we are going to move 1 artillery and 1 infantry to P32 and to P41. We then have the 2 transports that are in P32. They are both going to go to P15, pick up the remaining 2 artillery, move to P32, and move back to P41. Oh, wait, no, they're not. They're dropping them off here, aren't they? Scratch that. I got to split that chip up. My apologies. Not every plan survives contact with the enemy, as it were. And I need 1 more. So of those 3 artillery, only 2 of them are being transported to Kwangtung because the other 2 are actually being dropped off in Hunan. I got myself a little bit of how I was doing something here. I then have this destroyer that's in P16, picks up the Marine, it moves to P15, P32, P41, drops that Marine off in Kwangtung. The 2 destroyers that aren't doing anything go from P41 to P32 to P15 to P16. Basically, they just kind of go back the same direction. And my 1 lone transport that didn't do anything goes from P41 and it ends up in P16 with the 2 destroyers there. So we'll try to do a quick summary for you here of where everything is. Hopefully you guys were able to follow along with my little flub there. My total in Kwangtung. We're going to grab ourselves another chip. So we have 4 more Marines. So he goes away. He goes away. He goes away. So in Kwangtung, I have 10 infantry, 10 Marines, 6 artillery, 1 light armor. In Hunan, I just have the 2 artillery. In Shensi, I've got the 4 infantry, 3 cavalry, 1 mountain, 1 artillery, 1 infantry. I may move the 18th over. How many cavalry does the KMT have? 2. They have 2. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We're actually going to move the 18th. It's going to join. So the 5 planes in the 18th are going to move from Shangtung down to Hunan, just in case the KMT decide to get a little cheeky with their cavalry there. We're going to go ahead and do that. Oh, and this guy, he made it too. My apologies. I did not update that. So my infantry in Kwangtung is actually 11. So it's actually 11 infantry in Kwangtung. not know why OBS keeps doing that to me, but after a little while, it just powers down my mic on me for one quick little cycle. That's what those little skips are. My apologies. At some point here, I'm going to figure those out. So, just as a recap, in Kwangtung, I've got 11 infantry, 10 marines, 6 artillery, 1 light armor. And now we can go to unit placements here. So the factory in Honshu gets finished, which is great. That's going to free up a little money for us. And we have some units to place. So in Kyushu, we place 3 artillery, 2 infantry. In Tokyo, we place 1 infantry and 2 marines. We just do not want to sit there. And in Reihi, we place our 1 cavalry. We will be collecting 39 IPPs, as we are still collecting the 1 IPP from the oil embargo, and the 6 China. So we are at 32. We get 6 for our China bonuses to go to 38, and then the 1 remaining for the U.S. oil to take us to 39. And there we go. If anybody has any questions or tidbits they're interested in, just make a comment, and we'll take it from there. Everybody have a good day.